So I'm recording on the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 camera. I've had this camera for 4 or 5 months now, and I would have to say that I've used this camera more than any other camera that I've ever owned. I've been in videography and photography since I was 16 years old. I got my first camera as a birthday present when I turned 16, and I've had a handful of cameras since then. But this camera, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, is the cheapest camera that I've owned, just about. But it's the camera that I've used the most in the shortest amount of time. Now, part of that is because I'm spending more intention, more time and energy into actually creating content. But the main reason why this camera is the one that I've used the most is because just how fun it is to use this camera. Not only is it fun, but it's practical. It's small and compact, which allows me to use this camera in a lot of different situations and take it on the go and record really high quality footage. For me, that's something that's really important, not sacrificing on quality of the footage, but also being able to be creative. And what I've realized in using this camera is that it allows for more creativity to come through because there's not as many technical things that you have to work through. There's already enough that you have to do as a content creator, as a videographer, or even as a photographer when it comes to lighting and setup. When you introduce video, especially for today's day and age, of course you need to have good video quality. And the other half of a good video is good audio quality. It checks both of those boxes. When it comes to stabilization as well, it has a built-in gimbal. The DJI Pocket 3 is a gimbal camera itself. It also allows you to see yourself. I'm looking down at myself on the little 1-inch screen right now. It also has some high quality features when it comes to being able to record your footage in D-Log M, a flat picture profile, as well as 10-bit video, which for layman's terms just means that you can color grade the footage a lot more effectively and a lot more easily to get the look that you want. The fact that this is all put together in one package is beyond me. And as I've said already, I've used this camera more often than any other camera that I've ever used in this amount of time. And that's really important because as a creator, you have to remove some of the obstacles of creating. Sometimes you can get stuck in your head thinking about all of the different things that go into creating a piece of content. And this camera helps to solve for a lot of those pieces all in one package that literally fits inside of your pocket. My experience with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 has been incredible. I'm thoroughly impressed. I would even consider buying a second one just so that I have one to match and I can have it in multiple locations while I'm recording, or have it in separate locations altogether, so that way when I'm driving I can have one in the car, when I'm at home I can have one in the office. But nonetheless, if you're someone who's looking to get started with content creation, this camera, this product may be all that you need to really get started. Yes, there's other dedicated cameras that have even better image quality and specs. My Sony a7 IV that's sitting right here, and while I still get plenty of use and value out of this camera, I find myself picking up the DJI Pocket 3 over this camera for a lot of different reasons that I've already explained. And so if you are just getting started and maybe you don't have a ton of money to put into equipment, and I would suggest that you actually don't. I would suggest that you start out with something modest. And this is the exact camera that I would recommend for about 90% of people who are looking to get into this content creation space, because it's something simple enough but powerful enough to allow you to really step into this game and have a certain level of quality with your videos that you can compete with other people who are on the platforms, who are creating content. If you have a decent enough phone, then I would suggest that. But if you're looking for a dedicated device, one that's separate from your phone, then I would highly recommend this camera. I cannot recommend this camera enough. I would say there's not too many reasons why you would go with something more dedicated like a Sony a7 IV or the like over this camera. And I'll mention one of them here. If you plan on doing long form podcasts, the DJI can do it. It can totally record a long form piece of content. There's one focal length, so you'll have to set it up in a way to where, especially if you're doing an in-person interview, that it can capture both people. But if you're solo creating YouTube videos, TikTok videos, talking head style videos, even vlogging, especially vlogging, then this is a camera for you. This is totally the camera for you. With that being said, link is down in the description box below if you want to check it out. If you purchase through that link, this does support the channel, so I appreciate that. If you want more videos like this, breaking down different tools of the trade of content creation, then make sure you hit the subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.